Hi, Tiffany here with The Crafty Home, and today I am doing a very late Bout of Books 12 wrap-up video. So, Bout of Books was the 5th through the 11th, and today is, what, the 16th, 15th? Yeah, I'm a little late. That's okay. So, yeah, I did a few updates on videos, but not very many. I will try to get better about doing those during readathons because they're fun. Maybe I'll try doing a vlog style. That might be cool too. My goal was to read 5 books, and I read 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Why did I think I only read 6? I read 7. I read 7. I read one more than I thought I did. That's so exciting. Okay, so I read 7 books during Bout of Books, and I also read a pretty good portion of Uglies. Oh, no I didn't. I read 6. That's why, because it's sorting it by a different date. Oh man, I was right. Alright, so I read 6, but that's still great. That's one more than I meant to read. So let's go through what I read. I read The Survivor, and I'll try to pop up a picture on one side of the cover because it is on my Kindle, and it is a advanced reader copy, although I believe it's already out now. So it didn't have like a pretty cover picture I could show you. Anyway, it is from the Crime Scene Houston series, book number 2, but you didn't have to read number 1 to get it, by Diane Mills. Diane Mills is a Christian suspense writer, and she writes fabulous books, and this one was no exception. It was about an author who was writing the story of somebody who survived a really bad childhood. She was kidnapped and left for dead, but yet she lived through it, and they've never found the guy who did it. And so yeah, and then this other thing happens, and they end up being connected, and the bad guy was totally not who I thought it was. I thought I had it figured out several times, and I did not. And I love good mystery books that do that, that don't, I mean, it seems, yeah, that can write it that way to where you really don't think it is who it is. It was amazing. It was so good. There was a little love interest, and just a really, really good book. I highly recommend it. I gave that one 4 out of 5 stars. And then I read the graphic novel Blankets by Craig Thompson, which if you've seen it, it's super thick, but still really quick. I read it in a day, and yeah, I gave it 3 stars. It's kind of like his autobiography almost, from what I understand, and I mean, so for that I can't fault him because the way it ends is apparently how his story is right now. However, it was hard for me, and there were some other parts. There was one part where there were drawings that, yeah, so not my favorite, but I read it. It's the first graphic novel I even like finished, so that's something. And then I read Coraline, the graphic novel. I don't remember who it's adapted by, but obviously Coraline is by Neil Gaiman. And wow, that story is a lot creepier than I thought it would be. I haven't read the actual book, so I should probably do that at some point. I read a lot of reviews on this book that said in the story, and I knew this because I remember when like the movie came out, and some people were getting like these boxes. Anyway, I knew from hearing stuff from different people, sorry, that was a really random thought, that a lot of people, or that it was a little girl is the protagonist. And in the graphic novel, she's portrayed as a teenager, an angsty type of teenager. So a lot of people said that kind of ruined the story, and I could see that. So after I read that, I think I was only partway through when I read that in the reviews on Goodreads, and I thought, okay, I'm going to put in my head that this is a little girl, and I could see how the story would be a lot different then. But anyway, all that being said, I read it. So, and then the next book I read was, I actually have this one, The Elite. Well, actually, the next thing I did was I picked up the selection stories I had from the library. My copy hadn't came in the mail yet. Neither had my copy of the other 2, of any of the selection books yet. And I'd read the selection from the library, but The Elite somebody else had, and actually is waiting there for me on hold, and for some reason online it won't let me cancel it. I'm like, I don't need it anymore because I've read it and I have it. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. So I read The Prince, I started to read The Guard, and I was like, wait, I don't know what happens happens, so apparently, you know, you realize soon that the Guard is meant to be read after the Elite. So I read half of this next. I read the Prince, and then I waited, and I think that's when I picked up Coraline. I can't remember. And then it came in the mail. So then I got to read The Elite by Kiera Cass. And, oh, I loved it. I loved it. I loved it. And, yeah, I love these books. And then my copy of The One hadn't come yet. And so then I picked up the selection stories again and I read The Guard. So then I was like, okay. And then right when I finished that, then The One by Kiera Cass came, and I finished this like at 11:30, the last day of the readathon. So this was my last read, and oh, I'm so glad there's going to be another story, and I love Kiera Cass's writing, and I love the series, and I could gush on about it forever, and if you haven't read the selection series yet, you need to. Oh, so good. All right. So yes, that is what I read during Bout of Books. I was very proud of myself. That's the best I've ever done during a readathon, and it was a lot of fun. So if you did Bout of Books and you have a wrap-up video, I would love to see it. Or if not, let me know what you read in the comments down below, and I will chat with you all next time. Bye!